Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So it's kind of a dreary day in Wapak today, and so we're gonna do a business tour. So today we are looking at some really shiny stuff. Ladies, this is one's right up your alley. Awesome place that we're gonna check out, and we are checking out Rhinestone Lip Gloss here, kind of on the eastern end of town. So the owner's a really cool person, got a really cool story. They're gonna tell us all about themselves and their story and show us around their business and the history of the building. So hold tight. All right, so we're coming in, just looking out the outside of the building, and they sell electric bikes too, which is super cool. So let's go on in and meet them. Hey, Miss Sarah, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Hey, welcome to our channel, and thanks for having us in.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we do here. The word bedazzle makes my skin crawl, but it's essentially what we do. We are quite literally professional bedazzlers. The name Rhinestone Lip Gloss is a bit misleading because we don't make lip gloss, but we do use an enormous amount of rhinestones. Probably our biggest product is jewelry, mostly earrings. We create super lightweight, handmade, blingy earrings for women of all kinds of lifestyles, I guess.
Right.
Everything from corporate attorneys to Miss World, actually, just Mrs. World, sorry, just won her title, Mrs. World, in our earrings that were made right here in the studio.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that was kind of a neat thing to add, kind of feather in our cap.
Right.
Everything is handmade here in the store. The only thing that we use that does not come actually from Ohio are the crystals themselves, because there are no stateside crystal makers.
Right.
And certainly none in Ohio. So everything we do here is local, it's handmade, it is built, not bought. I have an amazing group of unicorns in the back.
I love that you call them unicorns.
They are unicorns because they are just truly that amazing. There's quite the age gap. We have a little girl here, I shouldn't call her a little girl, but she's a junior in high school, and then the next closest is 56 years old. So
wow.
Yeah, so they're older ladies they're amazing here. They keep my stuff together because I'm kind of a hot mess. They're like, okay, Sarah, did you eat today? So and they're all local, which is super neat. But we do the jewelry, and then we crystallize, bedazzle, vehicle emblems, guns, shoes, KitchenAid mixers.
Guns. Wow.
Depending on the model, which is the grip. We also have an adhesive that does stand up to high heat, so barrel adhesion is no problem. Same thing with like motorcycles.
Oh my gosh.
The tailpipe. I don't love doing tailpipes just because they get crazy hot, and it's just not my. But they can be done. But we do helmets, the gas tanks for them. We did Peeps, the little marshmallow candies that are like trash.
Right.
But,
that are so not good for you.
They're terrible. So I don't know. They might be in the back. But we cut them apart and they dry, and they're quite literally. Hello, Kimmy.
All right, sorry, we had a quick little interruption. No big deal.
We had to do some business.
Right. That's what we do.
This is a store. So vehicles, guns, shoes, KitchenAid mixers, Peeps. As terrible as this sounds, we've actually crystallized a casket. So not the whole thing.
Okay, that must have been some work.
I got a really unique look from the funeral home director. He's like, "Why are you here again?" I've got like my case of material, and I'm like, "If you could just show me where this is, that would be." But it was the lady's handwriting. So like her name was Dorothy. So we took a photo of the way she wrote her deed. Got out the trusty old carbon paper from back in the day to transfer it to the metal casket, and then we crystallized her handwriting, and then underneath we did a crystal for each birthstone of all the grandkids.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, and
that's
it fit her
cool.
personality, and
super cool.
It was cool.
Well, and I see that in the window over here you got some garden stuff, because why not look fabulous while you're out gardening?
I wish there was a time that I had a list in my head of all of the random crazy things we've stoned, and that list is just so dynamic that I don't even keep track. There's grill tools, so the grill tongs and all of that. Those handles are crystallized. Ketchup, mustard, salt and pepper, garden tools, flower pots. Neil, I don't know if you saw Neil Diamond's, our little astronaut.
Oh, okay.
He's in the front. He's right in front of the picnic basket.
I'm gonna take a quick look.
You can probably see him better.
Oh
from the
yeah,
outside.
okay. Those are the stress astronauts.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So we crystallized him, and we named him Neil Diamonds.
That is so
right.
cool.
See what we did there?
Right. So
Yeah.
cool.
So this is some of our work here. So like I said,
wow,
everything is made here in the studio, and it's all exceptionally lightweight. Our heaviest earring, which we'll get to in the case down there, is 1 ounce. So
Okay.
both earrings together, the pair total weighs 1 ounce, and so to kind of compare that, a slice of bread.
Right,
So
right.
that's actually how this company started as a complete accident. You can walk with it. So this is the winery at Versailles. This is Five Vines here in town.
Okay,
So
yeah.
girls will bring us bottles of wine and we'll crystallize them as a gift. They come in full. I promise they will leave full. But just if you have a girlfriend that's into wine and bling, we can church the bottle up. Stemware. So a lot of this is for weddings. This table's kind of a wedding thing. Shoes.
Right.
And again, all of our all of our
so
stoneworks.
they hold up.
Oh,
real-
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then all of our stonework's guaranteed. So if you ever lose a stone or break an earring post or something like that, we fix it for free.
Wow.
I don't care how you break it, right? With our earrings, we obviously repair anything that breaks. But if you ever lose one earring, you can buy just one. You don't have to buy a whole other pair because
Oh, that's
nobody
that's
loses
right.
both pairs of earrings.
So I got a quick question.
Yeah.
How did you get into doing this? Like,
So I'll
is
actually
this like a
walk you-
high school thing?
So this and the reason I'm dragging you back here is because the shirt is a really important part of this story. So I've always kind of been a lot, right, over the top, and that's just my personality. And I am a horse girl, right? I show and I rodeo and all of that. And my real job, I graduated from Wapak. This is home for me. My real job is a Mandarin Chinese translator. So
Okay.
I know, right? So I went to Ohio State, graduated with a degree in Chinese, never took a single business or accounting or marketing class, none of that. It was literally full cultural immersion, right? So that was in the early 2000s. And in probably around 2014, around 2012, 2014, I had a practice marriage, and it was educational, right? It's no education's free. So I had a practice marriage, and through that I acquired a barrel racing horse and loved her dearly. And I would work with like the local 4-H kids and give riding lessons and all of that, because horses were really the only thing I was ever innately good at. Was riding and that. So that marriage went south in like early 2014. Well, there's a huge horse show in Columbus called the Quarter Horse Congress, and I always wanted to compete at it. And I thought, you know what, this is the year. So I pawned my wedding ring from my practice marriage to pay my entry fees at that horse show. And it's a huge show, so it was kind of a bucket list thing. I didn't go, I knew I wouldn't win, but I wanted to go do it, right?
Right.
So my mom made me this shirt, and it's obviously red and black, and there's rhinestones on it. And we would, the local 4-H kids, because horse showing is expensive, the clothing is outrageous, and it's expensive. So the local 4-H kids would bring us shirts from like Tractor Supply or different, things, and we would add crystals to them. And my practice husband was like, "Why are you messing with that? Like that Bedazzle's a waste of time, blah blah blah." And I liked doing it. It was fun, right? So, anyways, my mom makes me this shirt to wear, and the back of it is all, like there's the fringe, like the Day 11s,
Right.
Roy Rogers look. So I was down in Columbus competing at that show, and I had this pair of earrings in my room, and it was just a plain pair of earrings from Walmart. Well, I had extra crystals left over, and I thought, well, I'll church these up and they'll match my shirt. Well, if you take earrings from Walmart and you glue rhinestones on them, it looks like you took earrings from Walmart and glued rhinestones on, and you can see, they're terrible. They're coming apart and getting yucky and disintegrating, frankly. But this was the very first pair of earrings I ever made. And the next day I was competing in them, And these other girls that are rodeoing with me, they're like, how are you riding in those big earrings? They've got to be like, you know,
super heavy.
Yeah,
right?
super heavy and stretching. I'm like, they're really light. Because I had never been a queen of any kind, I didn't realize that heavy earrings were not a good time. So I'm like, no, they're really light. And I handed them to her, and she said, oh my gosh, can I buy these from you? Because they're blingy and they're comfortable. And I was like, no. But match my mom's shirt. I said, but I'll make you a pair. So that was October in 2014. And I'd gone down there with my horse, and we were 17th out of 121 in the country. Like,
that's
this
awesome.
was a huge show. And it was really cool, right? So, you know, I made the earrings at that show and met this girl who's like, can I buy these? I said, no. So that was October of 2014. And I said, I'll make you a pair. So I made her a pair, and then, you know, somebody else. And it just kind of
word of mouth, right?
Word of mouth, right? Meanwhile, I'm still living the corporate dream, right? Translating all of those things. Well, by February of 2015, he was my boyfriend then. He's my husband now. He said, you got to make a decision. You either need to stop this Bedazzle stuff, or and do it and focus on your career, or like shut your corporate job down and do this full time. And I'm like, well, you're on drugs, because I can't. I mean, I can't leave a 401k and benefits and beautiful corner office. I mean, quite literally like the typical corporate thing, suits every day. I can't leave that. Not to mention, I just spent $80,000 at The Ohio State University. To have arts and crafts time. Like, this is a real stupid, like, my mom's going to be mad. In fact, you can tell her, because this is not a grown-up decision. He said, I really think you can. So I had $85 saved up from some rodeo, and I bought my vendor's license and my first package of wholesale Swarovski crystal, and started a Facebook and an Instagram. And that's all. I mean, I started this with $85. That is it. And we have no loans, and we have no debt. And it quite literally snowballed all through social media, all through word of mouth. So we have work in 19 countries now, all over the world. We bought this building in August of 2020. So it's this whole side, and then Joyce Ann's. So there's a whole other the whole other side there. We have 6 apartments upstairs. 3 are active Airbnbs. Our clients fly in and stay with us and design their jewelry. So for abroad, we do the road, you know, like the horse show stuff, a lot of weddings. So this is our wedding room here. So our clients come in here with their girlfriends, and we sit down. They get a whole custom consultation. They get a charcuterie board. They can pick coffee, cocktails, water, wine, or mimosas.
Awesome.
And we sit in here and we quite literally eat, drink, and design. So cufflinks and tie bars for the groom, stemware, shoes. We add crystals to veils or wedding gowns. Then, of course, the jewelry. All of that. This middle room here is our refreshment area if you are a grown-up.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Gotta have one of those.
Gotta have one of those. And then this is our pageant room. So our clients, our pageant girls come in here, and they put their gowns on. And that big full-length mirror allows them to stand far enough back to kind of see the whole picture. So then what we do is we take a look at their face shape. We measure from their earlobe to their collarbone, because that length matters, right? So your earring's not like laying on your shoulder. The gown lines, their body structure, their face shape, all of that. And then we can quite literally draw, which is what a lot of these are here in this case, draw earrings to match the girl. So this is Mindy's fairy here. And this is, so these are a different shade of red, but like this is what she has on, but she has a really long neck. So if you, most people can't wear that earring because it wants to let.
Right.
You're not invited. So there's a lot of math that comes into it, a lot of design. So if you're like, hey, I love this shape, but it needs to end here, then we go in and adjust it. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And then everything's sewn here to match the gown, and again, the girl, you know, because your personality plays a lot. I mean, most girls wouldn't wear these giant fish and lure looking earrings on every day, but I have a big personality. It is what it is.
That's
right?
awesome.
So,
that's awesome.
The building itself, I am in love with her. She is so cool. She was built in 1903. There was a building here before and it burnt down. One of these days we'll need to go to the other to the other side, so the terrazzo, the flooring that's over there, in the main Airbnb upstairs, it's the exact same.
Wow.
So the flooring matches. When I bought this, there was.
We're gonna take a quick pause.
Yeah.
All right.
We're back. So whoever built this originally, and I don't know of any way of really finding that out, but a ton of care was put into it. The detail is incredible. When I bought this had, first of all the walls were pink, like that nice.
Oh, wow.
It was a bridal store. So from 1968 until 2018, it was the Bridal Emporium and Dudley's Flowers and Gifts. W.
Yes,
Schuler is local. His son Steve was my elementary school art teacher. So like, it's always been locally owned. When I bought this, it had that 1990s Dusty Rose pink. That was trending.
Yes.
So 107 gallons of paint later, we have normal walls, and this tin on the ceiling is still all original.
Oh yeah.
When I bought it, it was white, but it was tired, so we kind of gave it a little bit of a facelift. The hardwood that you see is 1903 original. There was tile on top of it, and then carpet on top of the tile.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we came in with roofing. I think they're called roofing shovels. Like
the
flat
shingle
blade.
eaters.
Yes, yes, that.
Yep.
So we came in here and pulled all of those tile and the carpet up, got it out, and then Kimmy, one of the ladies who works with me, her boys scooted around on furniture dollies with pliers and a coffee can and pulled probably 2,000 nails out of the floor. And then what I love about you can see it right here. So what I love about this floor is that, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, it's lighter here.
Yes.
And then it's like, you can see where the cases were, and you can see where over the years people have walked. And I'm kind of a dork when it comes to old stuff, but I'm like, all of the life, like Vietnam was happening when people were in here, and World War II was happening, and people were in here. You know, before it was before it was Dudley's, it was Firestone Tire and Automotive. Okay. And I've seen 2 photos in Rachel Barber's book. I've seen 2 photos of it as the tire kind of home auto shop. Before that, I don't know what.
Who knows, right? I don't know. You have to look, we'd have to look it up.
Yeah. So another cool thing about this building is, like a lot of the other ones downtown, it has the tiny square like amethyst glass all across this storefront, above the stairwell, and then into the next storefront. That's all still there. So definitely on the bucket list to expose all of that one day, but that's going to take a proper contractor. Like that's not something that I can, take a shovel to and fix.
I have to ask, I've heard rumors that you've had some pretty famous clients. I mean, you got Miss World, which is really a big deal, but I've heard you've had some pretty famous clients.
We have been really blessed to work with some pretty cool kids. Reba McEntire has our work, Dolly Parton has our work, Miranda Lambert has our work, Ted Nugent's wife, Shemaine has our pieces. There's some that we're not allowed to
discuss, Yeah.
But we've really been fortunate to work with a lot in Nashville, because I do a lot with the rodeo and the rodeo queens, Miss Rodeo America, Miss Rodeo USA, hundreds of we call them preliminary title holders. So girls that have a local title that go to compete for Miss Rodeo Texas and whatnot. Wow. We work with the Miss Ohio program, the Miss Ohio Volunteer program, Miss Ohio USA.
That is super cool though.
It's fun, and people are, and this is what I love about being here. When we were going through purchasing the building, I was at J. Marie's talking to some folks, and it was brought to my attention that some people in town, and this isn't a bad thing, but were like, is WAPOC gonna shop here? Well, no, WAPOC really doesn't, because there's not a ton of events that warrant jewelry like this, right? But what it does is it exposes WAPOC to people. We live in a real life Mayberry,
for real.
I talk about that on social media. I call it my Mayberry, and I travel constantly. I have a store in Ocala, Florida. We have a place in Texas. We're gone all the time. I travel for my clients, and then also with what my husband does. But to come back home, I walk into Winans and they know my name. and they
Right.
know that I'm going to get a black coffee. Depending on the flavor, they rattle it off. Like it's safe.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like that's what I love. And so what's cool is we've had people from New York, California, Virginia, Texas. I have to look at the guest book.
Right.
But fly in, stay upstairs with us, come down here, do what they need to do, whether it's for a pageant, whether it's for a wedding, whether it's for a girls' trip. Like groups of girls will just come and
Right.
hey, we'll design something fun. But then they go back upstairs, put their stuff down, and they walk the whole couple blocks, clear up to Casa, to the light,
Right.
you know, and shop the Antique Mall and Casa Chic and Thrifty, like all of these stores.
Right.
And they eat at J. Marie's, or they'll go to Sweet Kicks and get a plate of diabetes because they're
'Cause it's so
oh
good.
my gosh, it's so amazing, you know. But that's what's cool is small town America does still exist. So we didn't do this to sell to Wapak.
Right,
And
right.
we do like the prom girls. Like it's Wapak's amazing, but what I love is when people come down here, they're like, "You were not joking." Like
Right.
this,
They
it
experience
still
it.
exists. It's an experience, and they come for RL, which is great, and we appreciate that obviously. But what I love is that relics. I had one girl. She found a teacup. And it was like it made her whole year, and I'm like, I'm happy for you.
Right,
I'm
right.
glad you have a teacup now. But everybody around here is just like this entire town is something that you don't even believe it even exists anymore.
Right.
And it's safe, and you can walk, and
Just enjoy it.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So I'm so excited that we got a building. You know, we were able to purchase this, and my girlfriend Dina, who has Crave across
Right.
the street,
Yep.
we've been friends since we were in the first grade, and it's neat because myself and her and Lynn, your wife, are kind of the younger building owners. I don't
Right, right.
know of anybody else younger than us that owns a building. So to kind of be part of that next generation of caretakers of they
Right.
don't build buildings
It's
like
awesome.
this anymore.
Yeah.
And when I was quoted, I thought, oh well, I wonder what it would be to. Not that I wanted to replace the ceiling, but I'm not Joanna Gaines. I hate this stuff. I'm not a house redoer. To get the tin to replace each panel was like $33 a panel. Well, there's 3,000 square foot of panel here.
Right. There's a lot.
Well,
Right.
but they don't make them like this anymore.
No.
You know? And upstairs, our apartments upstairs, the ceilings are between 10 and 14 foot. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, and at Christmas, we have a 12-foot Christmas tree with 2 foot to spare. I mean, they don't. To build this building in this day and age would be.
It'd be way too much.
It'd be
Right.
insane. You know, and the floor. You know, like you got to figure the building's 118 years old. 119. What is this? 2022.
Right.
It's old.
It's very old.
I'm not good at math.
It's okay.
And you figure,
Me either.
and not being weird, but you know, how long had these trees been growing before they were harvested? And somebody cut all of this, and somebody nailed all of that. Or I mean, it's just
Right.
the craftsmanship. And the trim upstairs is all still original. The wood, the oak doors.
Yeah, I mean, I've
It's-
been up there. I helped them move some furniture in one time, and yeah, it's awesome
amazing.
upstairs.
And all three
Yeah.
of them are. Oh, you know what? Number 7's open.
Oh, okay, cool. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
You
Yeah.
want to go up there?
Keck yeah, let's go
Let
see
me,
it.
Let me get the keys.
All right. Okay.
Hold on. So this is the amethyst glass that goes across the
yeah.
entire front of the building. It's covered, so it just looks like
Oh, good. This is super cool. Look at the
squares.
old mailboxes.
I know. And we just repainted the hall this year, but I don't think it had been painted since the Korean War. It was coral and cream, not brie. So,
Oh my gosh, this is so.
so
cool.
all of this is original. When we bought this, the doors, they were in such bad shape. We had to paint over them. We couldn't save without taking them. You can tell I'm in here a lot. Without taking them completely apart and
Right.
refinishing them.
Right.
Not to say that we won't do that someday. So this is kind of the crown jewel. She's
Wow.
1,200 square feet, and you'd have to check with Rachel Barber on the actual details of this, but the name on the front of the building is Patterson Cook, and Mrs. Cook, I'm going to butcher this, Mrs. Cook was the first female brewery owner, for sure in the county. I
Oh,
want
okay.
to say like maybe even in the state. And they
Wow.
had a bottling company that they ended up selling all of that and the recipes to Pepsi.
Oh,
and
wow.
then a company out of Texas bought it from Pepsi, and they're still brewing it. But I'll show you the
Super
floor
cool.
in the bathroom, and you'll notice it when you go to Joy Sands. It's the exact same terrazzo. So this was Mrs.
Okay.
Cook's apartment. This is
Oh,
where she
okay.
lived. So I said all that to say
Right,
that.
right.
Um,
I love getting the history of all this stuff. Super
Just kidding.
cool.
Light's not going to come on. That's okay. So it's kind of a study area here. We have all kinds of different guests that stay with us. The fireplace is original. All of these ceramic bricks are original.
Oh yeah.
You'll notice there's no green and brown anywhere in here, but they
No.
were too cool to.
Yeah,
but
you
no.
gotta keep some things.
And
yeah.
that's, I'm like, this needs to stay. And I look at like the metalwork on this, like this cast iron. Obviously, the insert is more new, right?
Right,
But
right.
like, that's all original. As far as I know, this is all original. There's 11 giant windows in here, so the natural
Yeah.
light, like there's no lights on, and the lighting in here is
Right.
super. But same thing. I mean, you can quite literally look out and
See the
see
town.
Mayberry.
Right.
Up until this year, this was still how everything was heated.
Oh
It was-
wow.
I have a love-hate relationship with these. I think aesthetically they're incredible. Efficiency-wise, 0 stars. Do not recommend.
Right. Not so much.
No,
Not so much.
no. But they, my husband, he's like, are we getting rid of these? I'm like, no, they're staying. Like,
We
it's
have them.
character.
Yeah, we have them in Casa Chic too.
Yes.
They don't function for anything,
Fun.
but they're and pleasant to look at.
they are. They're beautiful aesthetically, and I mean, this is how this whole building functioned for a long time. A long time.
Wow.
So this is the living room, obviously. We have bedroom number 1, and there are mirrors. So
Oh, okay.
this is a 2-bedroom here. Put the light on. Ta-da.
There we go.
So, and then you can see the Lang building, which is,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where they used to build. That building used to be 3 stories, and they did carriages.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
they
yeah.
would start at the top, and then we look down the second floor, finish it, and then the bottom floor was a showroom.
That's awesome.
I know, right? Like these little things. So the bathroom here, another.
Oh, it's cool. Look at that
lady
little
here.
one.
I know, right? It's just the baby. But this floor here, the terrazzo,
Oh,
you can see
yeah.
all these mosaics were laid by hand
Yeah.
because they're crooked.
Right. Right.
That's how I know. And this floor is the exact same floor that you'll see in Joy Sands.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then in true rhinestone lip gloss fashion, we have crystallized the doorknobs.
Oh, wow,
So
yeah.
and then it comes fully. So when you stay with us, it's fully function. I mean, it's stocked. There's
Right.
hair ties, face wash, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Everything that you could hope for. And same thing here. I mean,
Oh wow,
They're
that's super cool.
bedazzled, if you will. The dining room here. So same thing. This is a portrait from. It's not a portrait. It's a
Painting
painting.
here, yeah.
The artist is Russian, and this is actually saran wrap. That they.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. And I know that because in certain places the paint is peeling.
Ah.
So, but the red and the black. This is actually on loan to us from a gentleman in Lima who is a really cool art collector, and he has a lot of really neat pieces. And he said, "I think this would be super." So then we did the ceiling in decorative tile. It is not original.
Right.
That's aftermarket.
Oh, check out the old
I
stove.
know, this is one of my favorite things. Oh.
The old antique retro. What is it, like 1950s or 60s?
57.
57. Yeah. Look at that.
1956.
The cabinets. Oh, and you even did
So,
all the
we did.
holes in here too.
Mhm. So these are all bedazzled, and same thing, it's fully stocked with everything you could think of. And the cabinets are metal. I
Right.
guess that was the thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Same style with the stove.
And
yeah.
this is what it used to be yellow.
Oh wow.
And then this is an ironing board.
The drop-down iron board.
Yeah, I've never taken it down.
I have never seen one before. I've seen them in pictures and movies.
So
and stuff
I
like
just
that,
left her right there. We do have a proper new age ironing board for our guests to use. The stove still works. The oven, and this is I'm kind of a dork, but this burner actually comes up and sits so that it can be level, or it goes back down.
Except for
like a soup pot.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
The oven works. The problem with the oven, and if you've ever read an old recipe, it'll say 20 minutes in a hot oven. Well,
that's very subjective.
That's very subjective. Let's quantify that a little bit. So the it's not a problem. It's just different. The oven just keeps getting hotter.
Right.
So you really have to watch. Cutting board here, but same thing. All of the little coffee bar and all kinds of fun. Just little things like the trim. And there clearly used to be a door here, but I don't know where it's at. But it's been really cool just kind of redoing the whole building.
Yes.
The transoms, all of the.
Is this the old doorbell?
It is the old doorbell.
Oh wow.
And this did used to work. My husband can usually make it go, but the transom still opens up.
Wow.
There. So airflow.
That is so cool.
It's some 1920 air conditioning right there.
Right on.
And so there's 6 total apartments in here. Everything else is currently occupied. But so this is basically our crown jewel Airbnb. It's the only 2-bedroom one downtown that I know of.
Right. Wow.
But here's the old.
Oh, it still works. Doorbell.
You're right. It doesn't take much for me.
That's so cool.
So it's the building itself. She's just got some super cool history. 2 full basements on both sides.
Wow.
The one under RL is nice and brightly lit. The one under Joy Sands is
a basement in an old building.
It's a basement in an old building, and it's neat because you can walk into the old coal chute.
Yeah.
And actually stand under Park Street.
Wow.
So it's super cool.
That's awesome.
So that's RL. That's the building.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for having us.
I appreciate you guys coming, and like I said, I hope if you're on the fence about coming to Wapak, I promise you it is worth the trip. So,
all right.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, thanks. We'll see you later.
Yes.
Bye. So guys, that was Rhinestone Lip Gloss. That was such an amazing tour. I hope you guys enjoy it. I know it's a long one, but it's well worth it, and such a cool history, and we got to see an Airbnb too. So thanks guys. Like and subscribe to the video and check them out.